Oh dear. Right. This is turning out to be quite representative of my days. It's Sunday the 27th, 2 in the afternoon. I've been up now for about half an hour. What happened? Right, we were walking the dog and all that. Sat on the top chair for a while. Drove home. Felt not so bad, as is always the case after the morning walk. After I've battled through that, I'm at my best. And I actually had a desire for food, so grabbed a couple of sandwiches that I scored from the shop yesterday that were going out of date. I bought loads of them because it was just easy. So ate some what was it, ham and cheese, and some, I don't know, chicken salad sandwiches. Very nice they were too. And as soon as the food hit my stomach, it also hit my head, and I just could not help but want to go to sleep. It's always the way whenever I eat, it makes me sleep instantly. So I had no choice but to come up and give it a go to try and grab a couple more hours sleep. So I guess I've had about an hour and a half, maybe two. What time would that have been? No, probably a midday, hour and a half max of sleep, and then woke up all coughing and spitting and spluttering, and that's where we are now. So this is highly representative of how I've been living for I don't know how long now. And that's the numbers we're getting at the moment. It was in the 80s a minute ago, the bottom number. But that was because I went, well no, it was in the 80s before I went to get the camera. Well, it's pretty, it's recovered somewhat, but that, the oxygen percentage was in the 80s, slightly earlier. It seems to have settled down now, again higher. It does alter. It depends on how I hold the thing. It depends on which finger I use. It does sort of seem to alter. But I think it's, well, as you can see there, it's that's upside down, of course. Where are we? There. It's a little bit lower than it kind of usually is. I don't think it's even relevant to keep focusing on one thing anymore. I keep reaching for it because I bought it and it's interesting to see, but I don't think it really tells a story. I don't know what to make of that. I'm obviously not as oxygenated as would be nice. I wonder if that is simply a function of having a whole bunch of food in my stomach and the blood having to rush around trying to deal with the food rather than rush around trying to oxygenate myself. If that makes sense, does that in any way make sense? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's kind of how it works. It's a lower number there because the skin has changed somewhat because my blood's all busy dealing with the food. Anyway, you can make up whatever you like, can't you? So I am back to, let's not focus on that. I am back to sitting on the edge of the bed, coughing and spluttering and spitting, coughing, spluttering, spitting, tired, headachy, want so bad to be asleep. And just every single time I lay down and get the tiniest bit of sleep, I end up paying a price like I'm sat here now. And I could potentially be sat here now for for the whole rest of the day, actually. It'll ease again later on, I'm sure, if I keep leaning forward and coughing and spitting. And then I'll sit in front of the television all evening, like I do. I just can't do anything else right now. I just cannot do anything else right now. And this is turning into a very, very representative example of how I've been living now for weeks. It's getting worse. I'm getting less and less and less sleep. It's getting worse. It's not nice. It's really not nice. You'd have thought, you'd have hoped that there would have been some knowledge from the medical people that have been involved with me here that I might have been encountering this. And you'd have hoped, you'd have thought there might have been some medication to mitigate the hell, the utter hell I'm going through here. But I've had nothing. I've had nothing. I got nothing to make this any easier. Nothing. Even the paracetamols don't seem to touch the headache too well. I'd be much happier with that and an extra, but I can't seem to get them locally, so maybe I should start taking 2 paracetamols instead of 1. Oh dear. Enough of the nonsense. Enough of the nonsense. This is what my life has turned into. Bear has evacuated the room and headed off down onto the sofa down in the living room. I absolutely don't blame him. It is not nice to be around me, coughing and spluttering, making all these disgusting animal noises. It's not good at all. Poor neighbours. I think when I've spoken to them in the past, they were completely unaware I was ill, so that's a blessing. I was getting all uptight about, poor neighbours would be hearing all this horrendous guttural noises coming through the walls, but let us hope they are unaware of it. Anyway, I need to be sitting here some more, coughing and spluttering.